Leftover lasagne.
Leftover lasagna.
Lasagna? No way.
It's a type of sandwich.
Some kind of gross pasta.
Leftover
Lasagna
is a podcast hosted by
my
Nitin
church
Sundar and Tony Uncle. Leftover lasagna.
Very funny name.
Hello and welcome to Leftover Lasagna, the lawless wasteland at the end of the podcast apocalypse, the land where the points don't matter and we make up the rules as we go along. This is episode 25 titled Make Law, Not War. I am Tony, the man with the kind of face that gave birth to the expression to throw the book at. The man they call a make law maniac. Oh, sorry, that is megalomaniac. Because the best kind of love is self love, and sometimes it's also the only kind. And joining me is my co host, the man they call a make law maniac. Oh, sorry, that is make love maniac. Because when he puts his non bearded face close to that mic and unleashes singers, it unlatches sippers around the world. The man whose equipment gave rise to the phrase, the long arm of the law. I'm only talking about his mic. Say hi, Nitin Sundar.
Hi, Tony. Has a lovely intro as always. But I think it's time I did a proper intervention about the way you pronounce your S's and your Z's.
Oh, really? Is it like
Yeah.
Ravi Shastri?
You just said singer and zipper, man, for zinger and zipper. Fucking. You made an epic intro, comedy intro in the process.
If only we could redo that. No, like this is a live thing.
This is
So we
happening
can't
every
redo it.
episode now. In the last episode, I was talking about Zakam, and you, in your mind, Z,
Correct.
you hear Z as S, so you heard it as Sakam and made it Sakyam. And we all succumbed to the joke.
Come to the joke.
Episode number
Succeeded.
25. What is that? Plastic Jubilee. What is 25?
Plastic jubilee.
I don't know. It's not gold. It's not silver. Is it silver? No.
Yeah, I think silver. But plastic will be like, I don't know, 1,000 years or something, no?
Because it takes that long to decompose.
To degrade, yeah, exactly.
Buried deep into the sands of time is a lot of microplastic in your body.
Putting the last in plastic.
But tell me, 25 is silver.
Silver.
50 is what? Gold.
Golden.
And 75 is diamond. And 100 is
Platinum. No, 75 is platinum.
Oh, then 100 is diamond.
I'm guessing. So, happy Diwali, Nitin. It's either today or tomorrow. This is also like you make it up as you go along because Diwali anagrams to IID law, right? Which means that you make up your own laws. That is what today's episode is about. Actually, today is also Halloween, which anagrams to no heel law. That doesn't
My
make any
goodness,
sense.
internet anagram server is crashing today. Tony has gone and exhausted everything.
DDoS attack on internet anagram server.
If you go to internet anagram server now, there is a message saying, "Hello, dear Geo. When you rename it to Geo Internet Anagram Server, please pay me because I'm squatting on this domain." You can rearrange
This is-
Internet Anagram Server to I Rearrangement Servant OG.
OG. It was the OG website anyway.
So Diwali is coinciding with Halloween.
But when is Diwali?
This is never clear,
Ah,
right? I mean,
never
it's
clear.
always been celebrated over 2 or 3 days, depending on which.
Why?
part of
I
the
didn't
country you're
understand.
from. There is some logic to this. I mean, I've come up with my own logic, so you can listen to it.
Super.
This is actually not original. It is my wife and my son were discussing. In the north, Diwali is celebrated over 10 days or 12 days or something, right? There are a bunch of festivities that happen.
Okay.
Some Chhath
Dhanteras.
Puja, Lakshmi Puja, Dhanteras, Bhai Dooj, Choti
Bhai
Diwali,
Dooj.
Badi Diwali, medium size, platinum Diwali, plastic Diwali. So it's every day. North Indians just need an excuse to not do anything. So
Oh,
they
it
just celebrate
is
this forever.
Engal Vittil Ella Naalum Diwali.
And this comes on the back of Dashara, which is again 10 days, right? So this entire
Correct.
period is full kumbaya only. But the reason why
Amazing.
Diwali is celebrated over so many days is if you go to Google and check, distance from Rameshwaram to Ayodhya by foot, it actually takes you so many days to walk, which is what it must have taken
Only
Ram.
10 days, huh?
If you're Ram, you walk fast, no? Like you're not wasting time.
No, in between, Hanuman could have given lift and all. Not possible. Okay, I think at
Don't
this
mock
point.
my religion, bloody Christian fellow. So this is why apparently Diwali is celebrated over so many days, because every day as finally Ram reaches the north in Ayodhya, which is Diwali's day. So, but on the eve of it, there are lots of these other festivities. However, in South India, The reason Diwali is celebrated on an entirely different day, typically one day before, I think, is because in the
Okay.
south, Diwali is celebrated for an entirely different reason. It is because Krishna destroyed Narakasura on Diwali day. So different Vishnu avatar, different year, apparently.
Who's Narakasura? Is it that big snake? No, that is Kalindi.
That is Bangladesh cricket team. No, I don't know who is Big Snake. Who is Big Snake? I don't know any Big
Kalindi
Snakes.
only. Da. Kalindi.
Okay, now how's that relevant to this? Was he killed on Diwali day?
That I don't know. I'm just putting down my Hindu mythology credentials so that
Well played, well played. Did you find it on Internet Anagram server? One
it's
more
not Kalindi. Kalindi is apparently Lord Krishna's fourth wife. So I'm guessing I want to say Kaliyan. Is that the thing?
Kalia the crow. Ka is the name of a snake in Jungle Book, right?
Yeah, Ka is the name of the snake in Jungle Book. Kalia, yeah. Krishna killed two snakes, Agasura and Kalia.
The rest of them are the Bangladesh cricket team.
But Naragasura same as Agasura or different?
I don't know who is Agasura, man. Narakasura is from Naraka, right? He is from hell, or he was sent to hell. Which is why
Agasura is some Pakistani cricketer, no? That is Aga Salman.
Bakasura is the guy who used to eat a lot, right?
So what
And
about Kumbhakarnan then?
he is the guy who sleeps a lot. Again, different mythology. So, World Slothful Day in South India is celebrated on Bakasura's birthday. In North India, it is Kumbhakarna's birthday. Because, as we know, the North likes Rama mythology, the South likes Krishna mythology.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But Halloween being on the same day is interesting. So, you can dress up as a witch and go and burst crackers today or tomorrow, depending on your. And eat a lot of. So, you can eat both motichur laddu and candy and get type A and type B diabetes. And type C if that exists. So, everything is coming together.
What is type B diabetes?
Type C diabetes is that flat pin that you put into the Mac laptop.
So, today's episode, we've landed upon a theme, which is just based on the happenings around India. It is amazing why we've named this Make Law, Not War. Is that there is no such thing as a uniform law in India, right? It is all subject to interpretation. Actually, it is more a negotiation, right? Depending on who you are, what context you have.
Where you're from, as long as you law me.
Law me. I don't care.
The best example of the fact that there is no law is the car horn or the horn that you hear in the roads of India. Which is something that you don't hear anywhere else, right? And by the way, recently I was in Bangalore and I was driving around. I'm used to now driving outside of India, right? Because I generally drive in Dubai. So for the first 2 or 3 days when I'm in Bangalore, I'm driving through, fuck all traffic and there are people honking everywhere. I'm not honking at all. And I'm sticking to lanes that actually aren't even drawn. But I'm going in a straight line, right? I'm adhering to all the rules. And then my wife pointed out to me, you can actually press that thing, you can honk and go forward. And then like, oh damn, yeah, I actually can. It has just completely gone out of my my muscle memory. I used to honk like a mofo when I was driving in India earlier. So it's just been beaten out of the system. But what does the horn signify, right? It is exactly that. It is that lawlessness, which could be anything. It could be an inquiry.
Why is it lawlessness?
What does the horn say? The horn basically says, I'm here. Deal with it.
Correct. Yeah. No, I'm annoyed. Why is this happening to me?
Everybody's honking all the time, whether you're in front of a vehicle, behind a vehicle, coming from the side or not, everyone is honking. So everyone is annoyed all the time is what you're trying to say.
Correct. Yeah.
But why is everyone annoyed? Only in India. I know we've come back to India bashing.
Okay, please.
My son asked me this time. We kept seeing horn okay, please, asking what does this mean? Why is it there on the back? And then it's tough to explain horn okay, please, right? Because horn okay, please is actually a request to people behind you saying, please horn, please honk, because I'm not looking at my mirrors. I don't give a fuck about you.
No,
the only way I know that you exist is if you honk.
It is an admission that they are a slow vehicle, right? I am a truck, so you are allowed to overtake me, but honk, so I know you're behind me, so I can give you way. That is
I don't think that's what it says. I don't think it means you can overtake me. In India, there is no entreaty to say you can overtake.
No, Dad, it means I will give you
that
side.
you exist. I might not put sudden brake if you honk. Because otherwise, I'm going to like kill you.
One
by
second,
breaking
hold
something.
on. First of all, if you're the car or the guy that's crashing into the back of something, then it is your fault because you're supposed to maintain enough distance so that you brake well on time. It is entirely on you. I can brake whenever the fuck I want. You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
I'm not.
be maintaining enough distance so that you should brake well in time. It's not my. This actually brings us to the first news item of the day, which is
Okay, before you go into
hilarious.
that, I know we should go into that, but just before that, there's a super high speed highway that connects Dubai to Abu Dhabi. Okay, where the
Ah,
maximum speed you can hit is actually 140 km per hour. Now, on
okay.
this road, there are actually dots or big circles that have been painted on the road. Okay,
Hmm.
and these circles are a certain distance away from each other, and the distance between the circles varies in different points of the road. You know what the circle is
Hmm.
supposed to
You should maintain
imply?
that distance with the next vehicle.
That's basically 2 seconds gap between two vehicles when
Hmm.
you're going at the
Hmm.
maximum speed that is rated on that
Correct.
particular road. So at 140 km per
Okay.
hour road, the circles are further away. And if you can't
Right.
see two circles between you and the vehicle in front of you, you're in that danger zone.
Slow down.
Basically. Yeah, slow down a
Okay.
little bit.
The gap he maintained.
That gap you maintained. But yes, let's talk about roads without circles in India. Come on.
Brilliant. This is an encapsulation of everything that is India, right? But this is a brilliant video from Kerala, actually, right?
Yeah,
And let's just play the video. You will see that this is a road, and roads in Kerala famously are only one lanes, right?
yeah.
Because there are towns all around. You go around anywhere in Kerala, you are like probably 1-2 kilometers away from a town with a bakery and a bus stop and an auto rickshaw stand and all of these. Right? And these are also technically high speed highways,
You have to
state
explain
highway
why
or national.
bakery was the first thing that came to your mind.
Dude, I just grew up in Kerala thinking that bakery culture is universal. Of course, there are like 5 bakeries within, a span of 200 meters. Like, why the fuck not?
By bakery culture, you don't mean the fermented dough that is used to make pops and
Sourdough.
pastries. Sourdough. Sourdough is what Indians who are angry on roads are. They are sour, so they are also honking. Duh, why you on my way?
My favorite uncle who used to come home was someone who would bring a big Cadbury's bar.
Uncle Chips.
Like, every time he came, not Uncle Chips, he would bring a
Uncle
big
Bun.
bar of chocolate. Are you done? Got
Yeah, let me think. Yeah, I'm done.
he would bring a big bar of chocolate, and obviously like I was very happy. So then when I got a job and I was in Bombay, I was going to visit some kids who are like the age I was when I was excited about chocolates, and they stay in South Bombay, right? And I'm like,
Chandivali.
okay, fine, that is not South Bombay.
It's actually Khandivali, right? But it is spelled
No,
CHA.
no,
It's
there are
actually.
two separate
Oh, they're
places.
actually two. It is actually Chandivali. How do
Yeah,
you, as a Malayali, not? How do you keep a straight face when you drive past Chandivali?
that's where Mohan used to stay, so you know why he's butthurt all the time.
For the uninitiated, non-Mallu knowing listeners, Chandivali means but pain in Malayalam, and it is
Actually,
also a popular
Vali
suburb.
means pain only in Tamil, but Vali
But
means pull. But if you say it as Vali, it means fart, which means like butt fart.
I didn't know that. Learning new things every day. But butt fart is tautology, right? It's like farting 2 times. What's the point? I mean, where else can you fart from?
No, you can mouth fart. You can do like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
That
This
would be
podcast is the perfect example
that would
of mouth fart.
actually mouth fart would actually be Khandivali. Think about it. Mo Khan. No, Khan is ear, no? Fuck, okay. I've completely lost it. Farting from the ear is what Khandivali is.
This
Okay. So your uncle's friends were friends' kids.
no,
No,
no. So
your
yeah, so
father's friends' kids were not living in Chandivali or in
they were
Kandivali. They were living in
South
South
South Bombay.
Bombay, where there is no bakery culture.
No, so I assumed like just get down close to where they stay and like from the nearest bakery buy a big bar of chocolate because I am now the uncle, like make kids happy and all of that. Except like, man, like there is no such thing as a bakery, and like I was really shocked. This was one of the things that put me off Bombay when I came, is that there is no such thing as a bakery. But
Interesting.
in Kerala, every 1 kilometer you'll find at least 4 bakeries and auto rickshaw
I'm sure
stand.
by now you figured out that you don't need to go to a bakery to buy chocolate. You can go to like any
This was
grocery shop.
like 12 years ago, man. Like, come on.
Now technology is caught up and chocolate is
Yeah,
available outside of
quick
bakeries.
commerce, blink it to the auto rickshaw stand. What the fuck?
No,
Like,
but you can go to
why?
Star
First of
Bazaar
all, I
and
don't
get
know.
no. You can go to Star
Why are you
Bazaar. You
going to
can
Star Bazaar there?
for chocolate,
The
Rab, you don't
point
have.
is,
You will only go to bakeries and buy chocolate, huh?
why will you go into a mall, then go into a big retail
Okay.
chain, then go to the
No, but you
counter and
can go
all
to
that? The whole point is it's a quick purchase,
you
right?
can go
Like,
to Egambarnathan stores. Any
what?
grocery shop. I don't know what the Chandivali bakeries are not the only places
What
you can buy
the-
chocolates.
what?
Okay, excellent. But you have now come to terms with the lack of bakery culture in Bombay.
No, so the point is, this is a video.
The reason why, by the way, the reason why cities in Maharashtra don't have bakeries is Pune had a very famous bakery and they burst a bomb there, no German bakery. I think that's why they've done away with bakeries in
Hey,
Bombay.
no. Anyway, so this is a road in Kerala where, as you can see, unless you are listening to this audio when you can't see, but basically the point is roads in Kerala are narrow. They are, but also state highways. They go through towns. There will be auto rickshaw stands. There will be bakeries. There will be like people standing around watching traffic go by. Everything is happening.
There are actually
Huh?
people standing and watching. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
saying
of course
that-
there are.
It's,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just a spectator sport.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's one Pavam woman on a two-wheeler who wants to take a right turn, which is allowed, okay, on the state highway because like houses, towns, everything are close by. You have to. So she's moved nicely to the right of the road. She's waiting patiently, but suddenly, and she's gone on her way. Suddenly, there is a pileup of 8 cars and an ambulance. This is because it is the Kerala Chief Minister's convoy, which was going at high speed, right? And because this woman was trying to turn right on the highway, which is allowed, they basically resulted in a pileup, which I feel is beautiful, right? Like an encapsulation of India and what the laws are slash can be, depending on if you're a VIP, depending on what the exceptions are, where you can turn right, where you can't, all of these. Beautiful.
I have to point this out since you said it twice that she is allowed to turn right there, right? So she's on the
Yeah.
left lane and it's a two-way road. So there is
She's
a
not
right
in the
lane.
left lane. There is only one lane.
I know. I mean, as in she's in the left half of the road. There is a
Of
right
course,
half in which
if she was driving at the right hand side, then
Correct.
she would have been braking it.
I'm just describing for the benefit of our non-watching listeners, much like Indian drivers who are listening to this podcast without actually looking at the road. So there is actually a beautiful yellow line in the middle, and unlike normal Indian roads where there is either no line, or sometimes there is a white line, or a white dotted line, or a yellow dotted line, or a yellow line.
Correct.
Here there are actually two
Correct.
parallel yellow lines. They've actually created a small corridor in the middle of the road, which is two yellow lines. Now, everywhere in the world, by the way, since you mentioned twice that this is allowed for her to take right, nowhere in the world is it allowed to cut a yellow line, by the way. So, a solid yellow line should not be cut. That is why it is a solid yellow line. That is the rule everywhere. Right? In
once
Dubai,
again,
you will get fined if you cut a yellow line, by the way.
Okay, fine. So, how do you cross without cutting the yellow line?
You don't cross here. You need to go to the next roundabout or the next U-turn.
No, man. This is there is a road.
I know, you're right. I'm saying this is only in India. This is not allowed
Exactly.
anywhere else in the world.
That is the point. Okay, so let's go through the layers here.
Yes.
One is, notionally, are you allowed to turn right there or no? And you're saying, based on your international experience, that you shouldn't be allowed to turn right there, right?
You're not. I mean, in India, it is considered that you can cut any line, you can go across any road. In fact, if her road, here at least she turns right and goes straight across because her street is perpendicular to where she turned. But it is also possible that her street is actually not exactly perpendicular and is a little further ahead. In which case, she's also allowed to drive on the wrong side. She has to go to the right extreme and she can go on the wrong side. And that's also perfectly allowed in India. There's nothing that is not allowed in India.
Yeah. So she is unaware of the chaos she is left behind, right? Absolutely no clue. And she's got home.
Yeah, and she's enjoying her bakery chocolate.
Yeah, taken off her shoes, given herself a foot massage, put feet up on the table, switches on news, only to find herself. God, that is me. Why am I on the TV? Because she's caused the pile-up and an accident to the Chief Minister of Kerala. Absolutely. Because this convoy thinks that what is there if there is no road? I will create middle lane. This is basically the Moses squad saying I can part the Red Sea however I want to and I will go through the middle, right? And basically, yeah.
So there's one thing in that video which you should notice very carefully. Of course, there is this lady who turns right and goes away. But if you see the convoy and the other vehicles, they are all now trying to come a little to the wrong side and go, because there is
Correct.
one more two-wheeler person who is standing there. He's standing right there. He's not turning anywhere. I think there are two people on that two-wheeler if you look at that video. That person is the real culprit, by the way. The people who just stand on the roads as if like, what the fuck, I'm just here. And see, it's very symbolic, right? We said there is nothing that is not. Just play it again. You will see that
This
two-wheeler
guy.
comes and stops. Yeah, there,
This
that
guy.
orange color person, right? Orange and black. See that?
No, he's also got his indicator on. He's like waiting for the convoy to pass so he can turn right. He's being patient.
That is a mistake. In India, that is a mistake.
Yeah,
That is a
exactly.
mistake. If you find a
Exactly.
breach, see, so blue lady has found the breach. When you find the breach, you have to slipstream in India. Oh, look at this guy. He's turning, looking behind as he's going. Did you see that? This bike was coming on the other side, black helmet. He's turned around and he's looking. Best. I love it, man. What is the ambulance doing in the convoy? I mean, is it a preemptive accident?
Yeah,
situation?
it is a preemptive. Correct.
In case somebody in this convoy gets injured, we have an ambulance. Also.
Correct. Yeah, because it is highly likely. The probability is non-zero, and this reminds me of that Pakistani run out from Bata Fast. Everyone's going all over.
Oh, 1994, South Africa. And the best part is it's Jaunty Rhodes getting run out. Like the best runner in the world. And Inzamam ul Haq is involved in running Jaunty Rhodes out. It's as meta as
I think we should just insert that Bata Fast clip here because it is a beautiful.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we do plug podcasts. Today we are plugging one of our favorite cricket podcasts, Bata Fast.
Podcast,
yeah, posted by Osman Samyuddin and Karachi Katmal.
Because I said unaware of the chaos she's left behind. And I am actually quoting from that video because that line is so memorable.
And by the time Rhodes fell, the sixth wicket, the show was in full uncensored flow. Brian McMillan plays and misses at a Wasim Akram delivery. Spooked by the collapse, Rhodes, and this is Jaunty Rhodes we're talking about, Rhodes tries to sneak a single. The wicketkeeper, Rashid Latif, alert to this now, hits the stump with an underarm throw. McMillan is safe, but Rhodes has just arrived at the same end and, defeated, runs on, his fate decided. Akram is run halfway down the pitch and appeals to nobody in particular as the stumps are broken, maybe just celebrating direct hit. Realizing that it isn't a run out, but instead an opportunity for one at the other end, he starts running back. Mujtaba comes jogging in from point. See, Asif Mujtaba is always there. Comes jogging in from point, still aware, picks up the ball and lobs it gently and high to the non-striker's end. There, along with the retreating Akram, are now assembled Mushtaq Ahmed, Salim Malik and Inzamam ul Haq. They look like the people who congregate around a road accident in the subcontinent within a second of it happening with nothing to offer but curiosity. Hanji, kya ho raha hai? Mustafa's lob is a little bit high for Akram, who has to leap to get it, as he's backpedaling, his momentum carrying him past the stumps as he grabs the ball. Momentarily, as he turns and finds no stumps in front of him, there is panic. Meanwhile, Malik also tries to catch the ball behind Akram, just to make sure. And as he moves back, he hits the stumps, nearly falling over, and knocks the bails off. More panic. Luckily, little Bushy is at hand, logging everything that is going on. Inzamam, as always, is inert. And Mushi deliriously points Akram to the stumps. Behind you, as if Akram may not recognize the three stumps he's been bowling at for the better part of his life. Akram plucks out a stump and gleefully taps it with the ball, relief, elation, adrenaline, all coiling into one another. Rhodes is halfway back to his hotel by this point, unaware of the mess he's left behind him.
But, see, we said in Indian roads, there is nothing that is not allowed. This is an unintended pun. Because there is nothing that is not allowed also, right? The reason that lady did not know what happened behind her was she did not have a horn, okay, please board behind her. Otherwise, this entire convoy would have been honking, pam, 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 and she would have known what happened before she went home for her foot massage and her bakery pups.
Pups, yeah. Pups
have you seen these videos every winter in Delhi winters when the fog builds up, right? They very clearly say the visibility is fuck all. Don't drive on the highway. But people will drive, and there will be this place where, cars are ramming one to the other because they can't see each other. And you've seen those videos, right? So the people in the cars that get rammed up get out of their cars and take out their mobile phones to take videos of the next cars that are coming and ramming. It has suddenly become entertainment. You have got fucked. Your car is fucked. Okay, right. There's an entire lineup of 20 cars, and the 21st car then comes and rams in, and this guy is taking a video. Nobody's doing anything to sort this out, right? Or to
This-
get out of this damn situation. It says
Strangely
everything, man.
sounds like the Indian batting performance against New Zealand. That is- but anyway, so who is at fault here? I think it's a convoy, man. Like, I don't know. Like, who is to blame? Who is Pinarayi Vijayan ascribing blame to, right? As the arbiter of this, as the chief minister of the state. Who
Pinarayi
has been-
literally means happened behind, right? So what happened behind one is basically the meaning of Pinarayi Vijayan, right? The person who came from behind one. Who was the culprit for the Indian batting performance against New Zealand was Devon Convoy. Here it was the Pinarayi Convoy.
Brilliant. See, we say that when we take a huge risk, no, you generally say, so what? Like, if you step out of home, also you have a chance to die, right? Doesn't mean
Yeah.
you don't continue living.
Yeah.
But in India, we don't oftentimes estimate how high that probability is that
Yeah.
you might meet your end
Anytime.
for no
Which
reason
is-
at all. Like, you could be walking on a sidewalk and suddenly
Yeah.
there's like the manhole gives way and you just fall
Yeah.
into the sewer. This happened like.
There was a video that I saw yesterday where there's like one huge open manhole in the middle of a road and people are just riding past. It's just a huge circle.
No, but probably there's a plant, no? There'll be
No, they haven't yet put the plant. They haven't yet put the plant. It is just a big open hole right in the middle of the road.
But what if you go in and you reach that underground level of Mario and then you're suddenly like, no one has explored this, right? Like, it's basically like.
I always used to wonder you could go into one of those holes and come out of Canada, which is the other side of the planet. Then somebody told me that won't happen. You'll just keep yo-yoing from one side to another because of gravity.
Oh, no, that is if you dig a tunnel all the way through the core.
Yeah. Otherwise, how will you get to Canada, man? Like, you're not Akshay Kumar.
No, one second. There is this misconception that when you actually fly cross continents, right?
Yeah.
You think that you're going along the like east to west route, right? But most planes actually take the polar route, like it goes
Correct.
over the North Pole.
Yeah.
So on a globe, it's not going like east to west or west to east. They usually
Correct. Unless there are yellow lines that are drawn, in which case you don't cross them.
Okay,
Fantastic.
moving on from what is considered one of the best states for law and order, Kerala, which clearly it's not, to one of states where, I don't know, Damki law can happen, is Gujarat.
Yeah.
And this amazing news that there is this guy who's been running his own court for 5 years and has been passing orders
Yeah.
and basically changing out land laws to take up land worth hundreds of crores.
Oh, he actually was a fraud, is it? I thought he was just a good
Yeah.
Samaritan who was,
No.
he was lining his pockets in the process.
Yeah.
When I first came across this news, I put out a tweet, which, as with all my other tweets, did not go viral. So I will repeat it here.
Unlike this podcast, where it'll definitely go viral.
This person who was disbursing his own version of justice, his name is DIY Chandrachut.
But this is amazing, right? Because just connecting the two, on Indian roads, oftentimes there will be these situations where it is free for all, okay? And
Yeah.
there is no roundabout, and like you will have what is called that dovetailing and pulling, right? Like one of those weavers things where everyone sort of comes together and like left, right, you don't know who can go. At which point, either there will be some pedestrian who comes and like takes on the role of the traffic cop and sorts it out and says, you go. Or there will be someone getting off a bus suddenly and coming and saying, stop, you go.
Yeah.
Now you go, and sorts it out, right?
Yeah.
Till then, people are just honking as if honking is going to resolve this situation somehow. It's
They're
like
reading what
a
is
call.
written.
Yeah, it's like a call being put out to Batman, right? Like if you honk incessantly for so many times, suddenly one Batman will appear and he will sort of sort out the traffic.
Yeah.
This is basically what is happening on Indian roads.
No, but
So you're
those
right,
Good
the
Samaritans
Good
who get
Samaritan
out-
arbiter.
They are amazing, man. Sometimes I see them in,
Super.
like Sarjapur Junction and all. It's just like,
Yeah.
fuck all place. You don't want to be standing there, okay? And this guy is actually coming normal person, and
Yeah.
they get treated like shit because they are not cops,
Obviously.
right? They are
Correct,
volunteers, so nobody respects them. They will be trying to do
They're
something.
not even like, they didn't wake up that day thinking they would be a volunteer. They're just seeing a situation and reacting to it.
They're actually in mortal danger, those guys, because
Mm.
trucks and all will actually try to wipe them out while going, because people are taking out the aggression that they have against the authorities on this quasi authority good Samaritan who actually has no power. So this DIY Chandrachut, how did he get caught eventually?
No, so there are many layers to this, right? You know what this guy's name is?
No, the name I gave him didn't go viral.
His name is Morris Christian. Okay. So, a guy called Morris Christian in Gujarat, first of all, is unusual. Secondly, having the balls to pull off something like this is like pretty strange, right? Which leads me to think, you've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
And there is this alien who comes to the Earth and he gets stuck here and he just goes about living. So he gives himself the name Ford Prefect, right?
Ford
Because
Prefect,
Ford
yeah.
Prefect, because he did some SEO based search and saw that this is a common name, except it is a common name for a car, right? So this guy,
As
I
is
am saying,
Morris
he's
Christian. Morris Garages
Yeah.
is actually a car name.
exactly. So this guy is an alien, I'm saying, because if you remember, there's a car called Morris Minor, right? So it's like Morris Minor is too obvious. What can I replace minority with? And he looks up minority in Gujarat and he's like Christian. Okay, Morris Christian is the persona I shall adopt till I am stuck on Earth, and I will resolve some cases in the meanwhile. Right? This guy's an alien. This is my theory.
This is brilliant, man. I think you might be onto something. Except the cynical take on this is eventually he became human because he started lining his pockets instead of just doing the right altruistic thing.
Yeah.
Or rather, he became an
See,
Indian more than a human.
India is not for beginners or aliens. You will eventually fall prey to the system, right? So this could have been like a Better Call Saul episode, right? Like it's like instead of like him doing like fake cases or like getting situations just to get things done his way, he becomes his own judge, right?
Yeah.
And apparently he's been thrown in jail several times. In 2007 also.
For the
he's been
same
thrown
offense?
in jail. Something similar. But he claims that he has some... He calls himself an official arbitrator appointed by the government. And then he claims that he has some, bar thing that he's got from somewhere, which doesn't exist. Which may be the alien international, universal barcode, no, that he's talking about, saying that I am part of that bar. So I was a practicing lawyer on planet I don't know, Megastruce 314. What do you mean I can't practice law here? You guys have not read the universal law books, right?
Correct. Your Better Call Saul analogy is perfect because in Better Call Saul, Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman, becomes a lawyer by getting a degree from a shady university called University of American Samoa, right? Which is not really proper American bar also. This gentleman would have got his degree from the University of
American
Indian
Samosa.
Samosa. Indian Samosa, which he got in the bakery, but not in Bombay. Maybe in Gujarat.
Amazing.
Yeah, bakery.
No, so this is possible, right? The Samosa University is very possible because you wrap it in like paper. So what if you were the guy selling samosas outside the court and you've like got lots of these papers from the court, and just by reading those you've become a lawyer, right?
Barrister
so this
at
is
law. Yeah.
very much possible.
And when you are selling samosas outside, people come and give you gali summa kamda lorde. So you think I am samma kam lord. I have got degree now. By the way, were the plaintiffs and the people who came to his court, were they happy because they got some form of justice, right? Might have some intergalactic justice was meted out.
Yeah,
He actually resolved cases, right? Like he was arbitrating, and I mean, people must have, at least somebody would have gone happy at the end of it.
So yeah, this is another thing that you see in Bangalore especially, right? Where there will be like lots of land which says under dispute or something, right? Like it'll just lie that way for years and years. So this guy basically...
In Bangalore, this specifically happens in Bangalore because people actually are trying to get to that land, but they're stuck in traffic. They can never get there. So that land just remains under dispute forever.
There was a tweet this week that said you can technically claim home loan on your car because it is considered an immovable asset in Bangalore.
Domicile. Nice.
So he was basically saying that I can settle these cases for you, right? Like get these disputes solved
Yeah.
for you, and then he basically had associates posing as court personnel, creating a whole charade of authenticity and stuff like that, right? So
Outstanding.
proper elaborate courtroom setting in Gandhinagar, that too, right? And basically people thought it was a real court, but it was a drama, right?
Yeah.
Basically walked onto a set. So I think finally what happened was, for one of his clients, he passed this thing in favor, except that land happened to be government land, right? And therefore the district collector is like, what the fuck? So he suddenly woke up and said, so imagine it's a dispute between two random laymen, right? And as long as you have an official order, you're like, oh, okay, official order, what can I do?
That's it. Yeah.
It's been solved. The court has done it. I think this guy's mistake was basically giving away land that belonged to the government to one of his clients. And then the district collector basically woke up and said, enough of this charade.
See, this is the problem, right? In Gujarat, there is no law. You cannot get an attorney at law, but you can get an Adani at law because Adani runs the law there. Or you get this kind of American samosa law, which is the only kind of justice.
Indian samosa, yeah.
And it is perfect that this happens in Gandhinagar. Who himself was a lawyer. Gandhi was a lawyer, of course.
This is it. This is full satire. Like how, like there is no scope for content creators. This is why it is failing. Because
this is why that
you can't read a piece of news and say if it is fake or real anymore.
Super.
Yeah. Moving on. So we were debating how can there be egg puffs in Iyengar bakery. But technically egg is vegetarian, right? Because it is an unfertilized egg that you basically eat. Right?
Yeah.
So considering that it is not, this is again like something that you can't make law around, right? What is vegetarian, what is non-vegetarian is a tough question depending on who you are, depending on the day of the week, depending on what is used in the gravy, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you brought up this news about something happening in Telangana. Why don't you tell us what it is?
In Telangana, for the next 1 year, mayonnaise has been banned, right? And specifically, the court order says mayonnaise made from raw eggs, as if there are other ways to make mayonnaise. Like in India, you can make anything you want using cheese and paneer. Maybe there is mayo that is made using cheese and paneer.
There is vegetarian mayo, right?
Jain
Not
mayo.
made from eggs. Jain mayo, yeah, but there is mayo that is not made from eggs. Anyway.
Yeah. So
No,
for
but
1 year,
but
it
the
has been
beauty
banned.
of this order is
Yeah.
that it actually lists the recipe of how to make mayo.
Correct. Yeah.
It says, wait, let me read it out. This is the order from the government of Telangana, which says mayonnaise made from raw eggs is suspected to be cause of food poisoning in multiple incidents in past few months. Mayonnaise, or in brackets or air quotes mayo, is a thick creamy sauce made by emulsifying egg yolks with oil, often flavored with vinegar or lemon juice.
Yeah.
It is commonly used as a side dish or dressing in sandwiches, salads, appetizers, snacks, shawarma, and various dishes.
Which are found in bakeries.
Section 18(1)(f) of Food Safety and Standards Act stipulate that in cases where there are reasonable grounds to suspect that a food may present a risk for human health, then depending on the nature, seriousness, and extent of that risk, the Food Authority and Commissioner of Food Safety shall take appropriate steps to inform the general public of the nature of the risk of health. This following notification will be published in the extraordinary issue of the Telangana State Gazette.
Amazing.
Not extra.
I want to first of all read a few ordinary issues and then check out the extraordinary issue. That way it builds up.
Correct.
I like this law, right? It's a great law. In cases where there are reasonable grounds to suspect that a food may present a risk for human health, that's when they come up with these rules. Why is sugar being allowed in Telangana? Come on. There is more
Wrong
than
podcast.
Eggs are, of course, a very political tool in India, right? And eggs being allowed in midday meals at schools is a great bone of contention, egg of contention. Because eggs are actually great to eat because they're a great cheap source of protein, very important for children. But vegetarian outfits, whatever Hindutva outfits have been against the idea of eggs being served in schools, and it's seen as a way of discriminating. So I really don't know if there is real health-based background to this or whether this is one of those political kind of moves. But it is true that raw egg, can lead to some very, very seriously bad health outcomes if it is contaminated, uncooked, etc. So I, by the way, generally avoid mayonnaise. I don't know about you. I also avoid whiskey sour unless it's at a very, very reputable establishment. Whiskey sour has, raw egg that is whisked into the cocktail. What are the other things? So there is this egg drop soup where also they drop a raw egg, but that's a kind of sous vide cooks inside the soup itself. But I tend to avoid those because I'm also a little careful about raw egg. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of raw egg. I love my egg cooked.
What about in a ramen?
They don't put raw egg in ramen. No, they put
It's
a
a
half-boiled,
very soft-boiled egg. Yeah.
soft-boiled. Yeah.
Ooze.
What is it called? Nitamago eggs. They call it nitamago egg in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a Japanese name for everything. There is a special word in Japan for that feeling that you have when you're eating a raw egg and you don't know whether it is infected with salmonella, but you still eat it because you want the taste. And that is called nitamago. I'm making all this up.
Oh my god. Dude, this is exactly what it is, right? You can never tell if it is fake or real anymore. This is the problem.
Let's actually see what nitamago means. You have not come across the term nitamago, is it? Because they put it on menus. Yeah, the egg that is added in ramens is called nitamago. Nitamago basically means boiled egg in Japanese. Amazing. Yeah. It sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Nitamago. Unda. Anda.
You should technically eat ramen on Diwali.
Rame andalu, ravana andalu, enakku oru kavalai ille. But in South India, you don't eat ramen on Diwali because you eat Krishna sweets on Diwali.
Krishna sweets.
Which you can get from Krishna Sweets and Bakery. Right? So, there you go.
Oh my god. Dude, the problem is, you can say all this. I'm going to get cancelled and people are going to say that full blasphemy is happening here.
Bloody Morris Christian.
So, correct. I think we should take some verses from the Bible and abuse them so that I could get done by either religion. Right? Like, there is no one left to protect me.
So on that Morris Christian point, right? When that alien descended on the earth, he didn't have a human body when he first came. And he got into one of the human bodies. Whose body do you think he got into?
Chris Morris.
Morris Odumbe. Because Odumbe means body.
Oh, man.
Let us
Your
move from
sense of humor is veering more towards Amit Verma territory by the day.
I think like the Mayo ban, we should put a joke ban also for 1 year. And hopefully after that, this epidemic could have...
Hey, so tell me something.
It's only 1 year, by the way. The ban is for only 1 year. In 1 year...
And it's only in Telangana. But in Bangalore, have they shut Mayo Hall for a year?
No, it is under litigation because nobody can reach Mayo Hall. No, so you can actually make mayonnaise in Bangalore at Mayo Hall and take it to the Bangalore airport, which technically is in Telangana, and that way you can have mayo in Telangana as well. So there you go.
Superb.
You're not breaking any
You can't
law.
make... Yeah, but you have to break eggs. You can't make mayo.
You can't make mayo
eggs.
without breaking eggs. That is true.
The yolk's on you, right?
Or it is made with other Jain techniques.
Jain techniques. The yolk's on us.
Aloo mayo. They'll make it with potato. No, aloo is also not Jain friendly. Sorry. Jains are also going to cancel us, man. Those peaceful people.
This is gone. Like,
What
thankfully,
do
no
the
one's
Jains...
listening.
Actually, what do the Jains eat? They can't have milk. They can't have potatoes. They can't have eggs. What is left?
Yeah,
Rice?
I think
Dal,
let them
dal.
be. No, it's okay. They will eat what they want.
No, like what do they make mayo with? If there are any Jain listeners, please let us know. What kind of mayo do you
No, but here's the thing, right? Like, one, this is such a catch-all law, right? Like, if you suddenly decide tomorrow that this particular item poses a risk, as the concerned authority, you can just write it in the extraordinary gazette and have it banned for X number of days or months or years, right?
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of India, that no law is a law. It is a negotiation. It is basically saying, okay, have you broken the law? But what is the law, right? Like, where is the line? We can define the line depending on who your father is, who you know, and what kind of lawyers exist, right? So I think India is a perfect country for lawyers.
In India, you cannot make mayo without breaking eggs. You cannot do anything without breaking laws. And you cannot get blessings without breaking coconuts. So we have already offended Christians. We have offended Jains. Let's now offend the Hindus. And let's talk about
Correct.
Sabarimala and the coconuts.
So this is yet another absurd thing that has happened. Is that technically coconuts are prohibited in cabin baggage, right, at all times in the flight due to safety regulations because they are inflammable.
I didn't know, by the way, that coconuts are inflammable, but I guess because it has copra, which is, technically a fuel.
But for 2 months during the pilgrimage season at Shabrimala, coconuts have been granted an exemption because suddenly they are not inflammable. This has actually come from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. In view of inconvenience to pilgrims of Shabrimala, accords exemption to provisions contained in serial number 22, coconut, of Annexure 2 of Addendum AVSEC Order 2/2022 issued on 19/1/2023. Coconuts carried by pilgrims to Shabrimala in Irumudi shall be allowed in aircraft cabin till the duration of Mandalam Magaravelaku pilgrimage up to 20th 1st 2025. After that, they are again back to being flammable.
So I have multiple observations. Firstly, flammable and inflammable are two very interesting words because they mean exactly the same. They're not opposites of each other.
Yeah.
Hey, you have to show shock and awe when I come up with a fact like this. So why you're fact checking me and saying yes, correct. Poda goya. This is why
George
my tweets
Carlin
don't
has
go viral.
mentioned. George Carlin has mentioned in one of his stand-ups. So
But who said it first?
he blew my correct. He only he blew my mind earlier. So I'm
So
aware
your
of
mind is already blown by flammable and inflammable material.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so that's
It
number
is
one.
correct.
That law, right? It's law number 22 from the year 2022, which is perfect because this is a very catch 22 situation.
Catch 22.
Perfect, right? So 22 is just very fitting. But what really confuses me is the whole point of this pilgrimage is that you need to go by foot, right? That is the only way you actually get blessings from the Lord Ayappa. Who are these
Correct.
people who are flying in with coconuts and why? That completely defeats the purpose, no? If you tell
No,
me
you
that,
don't have to walk from. It's not you have to walk from Ayodhya to Rameshwaram. No, you can walk from the base of the mountain till the top. That's the
correct,
idea.
makes sense. Now you need coconuts to carry up the mountain. Which
Yeah.
is the place in India where you get coconuts? It is Kerala. Why are you bringing coconuts in flights from, I don't know, Timbuktu and other parts of the world?
This
Just
is
come to
true.
Kerala, make your irumudi there, no? With coconuts, fill it with.
Correct. So let's make the nuance here, right? You're saying that either the pilgrimage starts from your home, and therefore you have to have your irumudi, which is the holy offering to Ayappa, starting at the point of the pilgrimage. In which case you can't take a flight, right? Because you have to walk and carry that
Yeah.
offering from there. Or you're saying the pilgrimage starts once you hit the nearest station,
Yeah.
and from there you start walking. In which case you start making the irumudi from there. Correct.
Yeah. And especially in the world of quick commerce that we are living now, where you have dark stores that are, solving for the last mile problem. You should definitely not be carrying coconuts from wherever you're coming. Like, come to Kerala, get your coconuts, get your ghee. It is a great place for ghee also. You get everything in Kerala itself. Kerala is like Annanagar when it comes to coconut and ghee.
See, there are bakeries also.
Bakeries also. You can get coconut buns.
You don't have to parachute in coconuts to Kerala, right? Like
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh,
parachute is a coconut oil there.
Marico based.
Marico.
Amazing. Yeah.
We
So
spoke
my father has gone to Sabrimala like many years, right? And I think he
Yeah.
finally stopped doing it. I think the last 5 years he's not gone, but he used to do the whole thing, right? And they used to go by train from Madras to Kerala and then walk. In train, of course, you can carry flammable and inflammable coconuts, no problem, no questions asked. As long as you hoard, okay, please, it is allowed. So yeah, they used to make their irmudis in this temple in Nungambakam, and the entire group used to carry them in sacks and
Right.
go. They didn't have to take a flight, so then it is okay. If you want to avoid the risk
Yeah.
of a flight, it can be done. You just find a coconut dealer.
How did this law come to be? What do you think were the wheels of the law-making machinery in India that turned to suddenly pass this law, right? Pretty sure someone in the ministry wanted to take a pilgrimage to Shabrimala. And he's
I
like-
sense Shashi Tharoor's hand behind this entire conflagration. I'll use a big word because it is Shashi Tharoor. By the way, do you know how they do this? It's almost like the mayonnaise recipe. It's very interesting. So they make holes in the coconut, and then they put a funnel. They actually put a funnel and they fill it with ghee. They
Okay.
fill the coconut with ghee. Like, why would you do all that? Like, you can just take ghee separately if you want. And then they'll seal that hole using some lacquer kind of material, which is then burnt off so that it's,
Okay.
sealed. And
Shut.
then,
So what
and
happens to the water inside the coconut?
I've always thought about this, but I've never tried to understand. I think they actually drain it
You
out.
have a very thick-skinned Nitin Sundar, much like a coconut, that you never bothered to try it.
Yeah, I was like, I
Ask
had
these
many
questions.
questions. I had many questions. Why? My brother, by the way, also went to Sabarimala once as a child.
Nice.
It was one of his most harrowing formative experiences. He almost got lost in the crowd.
Shit.
Came within, inches of feeling extremely claustrophobic and scared. It's an incident that he went with my dad, obviously, and the entire group. My uncles and all used to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But one time and one and done. And thanks, the advantage of being a second sibling is you
don't have to do
get the benefit of not having to repeat the nonsense. So my brother slogged for multiple years to get into IIT, and then I saw him slogging. I said, "Sorry, I'm not doing this." Yeah, and similarly,
Famously,
Yeah.
you are the family that got cable TV when you got into 11th or 12th, right? As opposed to the other way around.
yeah. When I got into ninth.
So I was the annoying kid who was like, no, we can't have cable TV. I'm in 12th. I need to study. Yeah.
Wow. So you got it
Dude, what you're
disconnected.
saying is a very much refined version.
This is the refined version.
This is the refined version. It was more like you cut it when my brother was in 12th. How dare you not cut it when I am in 12th? Like, how am I less important? Right? Like, already you haven't bought me toys or cut enough birthday cakes for me. Also, my
Only
birthday
because
is in
bakery was not available.
Correct. Also, my birthday is in the summer vacation. I never got to carry sweets to class. I am also special. You have to cut cable for me.
Dude, you can never say this. Your brother was retrospectively wrongly named based on your birthday. Right? You can never say your parents haven't done enough for you. I mean,
There also, I am not selected. My brother got selected. This is why I identify with Sanju Samson so much.
so
So
for listeners who didn't understand that reference, Tony's elder brother was renamed from Lolek to Sachin when he was 8 years old because it was wrongly assumed that Lolek was born on Sachin Tendulkar's birthday, when in reality Tony was also not born on Sachin Tendulkar's birthday, but he was born one day away from Sachin Tendulkar's birthday.
But Malayalam Manorama reported it as. So how can Malayalam Manorama be wrong? Please, there was no such thing as fake news back in the day. So yeah,
Malayalam Manorama is the extraordinary gazette of Kerala.
This is true. Okay, so speaking of arbitrary laws and who can make them, I think the place where laws get just randomly pulled out of people's asses is college hostels, right? Where wardens can have any kind of law that they can bring into being, right? And usually it is around in the name of safety of women. They will say you can't go out of your hostel after 7 p.m. or some bullshit like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it is our responsibility to protect you, and the only way to protect you is that you stay inside your room, right? Nothing else. So, on the note that you can never say if something is fake or real, we came across this forward from IIIT Kota on our WhatsApp group, right? It's an email going out from head of department of computer science and engineering at iitkota.ac.in to all students, right?
Yeah.
The message reads thusly: I have received numerous complaints from single students in college about couples making them feel lonely. As part of the mental health awareness, we are taking this step. No more relationships shall be tolerated inside the premises of IIIT Kota. Any girl found in a relationship will have to tie a Rakhi to her boyfriend. No couple must be found walking together inside the campus. This is a college, not a Tinder garden. I think the last line is where it gives it away.
Yeah.
For us to say that this is probably a fake forward.
Yeah. Though I
But
couldn't find
considering-
any evidence that this was fake. I Googled assiduously to see the debunking of this, but I couldn't see it. But yeah, it's probably fake. Yeah. The
It is
Tinder
probably
garden.
fake, yeah.
took it a
Tinder
little
garden
too
is a
far.
giveaway. But till then, it is possible, right? Because
Everything
the
is
beauty of this is that we are inconvenienced by you being in love. So for our mental health, you tie Rakhi to the person you love, right?
Yeah.
This is the basis of a lot of laws in India, right? Like moral policing, right? Like how does it happen? Why does it happen? It's not consenting adults. It is that you are inconveniencing me by reminding me that I am repressed.
Yeah.
It is not law by excel, it is law by incels, right? In that sense,
Ooh.
saying
Yeah.
saying how do we sort of build a society where no one gets anything and we are all equally repressed.
See, the other proof that this whole thing is probably fake is that there are no single students who would actually go and place a complaint of this sort with the warden, even in triple IT quota. Is that a real
Yeah.
university, by the way? Triple IT quota.
This we didn't check. No, it is possible. We just assume that there are like shit tons of IITs now. I have
Quota is
not
the
cut
factory
cable.
for getting into IITs. Now, a triple
Correct.
IT in quota is like, it's like a bakery in Chandivali, if you think about it.
So this is a quota for IITs in quota.
For people who didn't get into the IIT quota from quota, they go to triple IIT. Yeah, I keep saying triple
Triple
IIT, which
IT.
is like sextuple
3
T.
IITs.
No, sextuple IT.
Sixtuple, I am not allowed.
IIT.
Bad.
Actually, all these I's make sense, right? They're all single people. One. I.
Single people, correct.
Single people. The other in IIT, it's a couple already.
Single people, it describes it to a T, right? Like
Describe T. Yeah. I like how the laws, as random as they are so far behind that they haven't yet cottoned onto the concept of homosexuality yet. Because they are only objecting to, heterosexual couples. They don't seem to have any problem with homosexual.
no, but here the question is, if I tie a Rakhi or if I am tied a Rakhi too, then can we walk around as brother and sister?
That's a great question. There are many loopholes in the law. You cannot walk around as a couple, but if you have like a two-wheeler, it's fine. As long as you
Okay.
put indicator and turn right.
Don't cross
Don't
the yellow
cross
line.
yellow lines. This is not a kindergarten for you to cross the yellow line.
But the best hostel warden story that
Yes.
we've come across, Nitin, was shared by our friend Warren Murli from
Yes.
ITBHU. I think now it is IITBHU, but back when he was in college, this was
In
ITBHU.
few more days, it'll be triple ITBHU. And then sextuple IT. Triple IIT.
Every decade, one I gets added. Superb.
Yeah. There is no I in team because all of them are in IIT, triple IIT.
But does this go like Roman? Like after 4 I's, does it become a V? And then it becomes a VT instead of a.
Then there is I in V. It's not like there is no I in team. 5 I's become a V. So have you
Anyway,
noticed one thing as you go into the warden anecdote? The
Yeah.
term warden is only used for two people. People who run jails and people who run hostels. What does this say? It says a lot about
Yeah.
hostels.
Yeah.
Or about
You
jails,
send
I mean.
people there technically to get reformed, but they come out worse in both cases, right?
Yeah.
In jail and hostel, your character comes out much worse than you go in.
This is why you are much better off getting a Summa Cum Laude degree from DIY Chandrachut.
Indian samosa. Yeah, this only. So of all the hostel / jail warden stories in the world, I feel like the
Yes.
best one is our friend Warren Murli's, who unfortunately is not here, but Nitin Sundar. You can read it out in your better voice. Courtesy
This joke-
Warren Murli.
Courtesy Warren Murli. This was typed out by Warren Murli in our WhatsApp group, I think, a couple of years back. It is a joke we remember very fondly and refer to very often. Here it goes. I am now reading Warren Murli's words. This whole episode reminded me of the greatest hostel fight I have been part of in BHU. Mechanical second year versus electrical third year was fighting properly at around 9 p.m. at night. The issue was a spoon in the mess had not been cleaned properly. Chains, bats, etc. all were out in full force. Hostel warden had to come in. Electrical third year students started shouting, "Warden ki maa ki beep." A friend of mine stood on top of the warden's office table and said, "Sir, aapki maa ko gali de raha hai. Main maar deta hu," said fellow who had been shouting electrical ki maa ki beep for the last 1 hour. Warden did a Rajiv Shukla, and here I must clarify. Rajiv Shukla is an all sorts official in the BCCI, which is the Indian Cricket Board, one of the funniest characters in Indian cricket administration. So the warden did a Rajiv Shukla and said, "ये लोग मेरी माँ को गाली दे रहा है, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उससे, आप क्यों परेशान हो रहे हो?" My friend reverted with, "Sir, आप कैसे चूतिया इंसान हो? आपके माँ को गाली दे रहा है." And then he started shouting, "Warden की माँ की चूत," on top of the warden's table, much to everybody's amusement.
The best part is that all these savage wardens can only be savage in the circulars and written pronouncements, right?
Correct.
But when it comes to actually stopping a fight between testosterone-filled pimply fucks who... This was the other thing that there was a notice.
Pimpri
in one of the-
Chinchawad is also a place in Bombay.
Yeah, so that level of testosterone-filled boys, when they're fighting with each other,
Yeah.
with chains and
better stay out of the
bats
way.
and
Yeah.
hockey sticks, there is nothing a warden can do.
Yeah. The poor wardens are not Tinder wardens, and they're not kinder wardens either. I mean, they
Not
are
savage
actually kind.
wardens.
They are actually kinder wardens. They're not
Yeah.
savage gardens.
Yeah, beautiful. Like,
Amazing.
there's the beauty of the story. The guy comes in, hears
You
monkey
can
galleys.
imagine it standing on the warden's table.
You know how it is going, right? Like, I know you wanted to beep it out, but it is going like it's a bunch of like 50 to 100 people shouting "Warden ki ma ki boss da, Warden ki ma
Warden ki
ki
ma
choo
ki
choo
choo."
choo," with like effect on the
Yeah.
last word. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's this guy getting a word in Enjoy saying, "Sir, मार दो क्या? आपकी माँ की गाली दे रहा है."
Amazing.
And this guy.
And the whole fight is over a spoon that was dirty in the mess. Maybe it was used to
Point
beat mayo, egg to make mayo. Nitamago mayo. Yeah.
Right, like you have pent up energy which has
Yeah.
to come out in some ways, which
Yeah.
is what hostel fights basically are. Like
Yes.
there is no, the reason is not proximate, it is just that you are
Boys have to be
20-year-old
boys.
boys. Yeah, that's about it.
Cannot
And
be
Warden knows
couples.
this also.
Cannot be couples, cannot do spooning, and mess spoon is also dirty.
I am not allowed.
I'm not allowed.
Can't spoon, can't fork. So knives out. This only. But the beauty of it is that the guy turns on a dime. And imagine now, both second year mechanical and third year electrical are joined in
Yeah.
unison by abusing
By the
warden's
warden,
mom.
So the warden actually accomplished what he wanted to do.
Correct. He's Shah Rukh Khan from Chak De India, basically, who
Yeah.
solved the problem by bringing them together
Correct.
by being the villain.
By
Except
being
his
the
poor mother is the one at the receiving end for
Yeah.
some reason.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So in that sense, make war not love, make law not war. All of these
Yes.
things on Halloween and Diwali or the way before.
The day before one of these things. May you destroy the Narakasuras in your life. Don't eat too many sweets and suffer from Chandivali.
On that note, this is Plastic Jubilee,
Diwali coincides with Halloween.
Silver
and
Jubilee. This is the Silver Spoon Jubilee.
Silver Spoon Jubilee.
Spoon not properly cleaned
Yes.
of leftover lasagna.
Yeah. If you like this episode, please hit the bell icon, horn, okay, please. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. This was
Thank you.
great fun recording. We hope it is even more fun listening.
Until next time.
Bye bye.